Don't listen to this alone in the dark. If you ever go camping and something presses against your tent in the dark, don't wait like I did. It already knows exactly where your head is. I wasn't supposed to be out there alone that night. It was just a quick overnight trip, something simple, something I've done before plenty of times. The campsite was one of those public wooded areas with marked spots, a small fire ring, nothing unusual. I got there just before sunset, set up my tent, laid everything out the way I always do. The air was still, quiet in that normal way where you hear distant insects, leaves shifting now and then. Nothing felt off. I even remember thinking how easy it was going to be. Just one night, get some sleep, head out early in the morning. I kept the fire small, ate something quick, sat there for a bit just listening. It felt normal, like every other time. When the fire died down, I kicked dirt over it, checked my surroundings one last time, and zipped myself into the tent. The fabric was thin, just enough to block wind and bugs. You can always hear everything outside. That's just how it is. At first, it was exactly what you'd expect. Crickets, wind brushing through trees, something small moving through leaves somewhere off to the side. I laid there on my back, hands folded over my chest, just letting my eyes adjust to the darkness inside the tent. It's never fully black. There's always some faint glow from the sky bleeding through the material. I don't know how long I was laying there before I noticed the first change. It wasn't loud. It wasn't sudden. It was just different. The outside sounds didn't stop, but they shifted, like something was moving closer, slow enough that it didn't break the rhythm of everything else. I turned my head slightly toward the left side of the tent, just listening, trying to figure out what direction it was coming from. Then I heard it. It was low, close. Not loud enough to sound aggressive, but not far enough away to ignore. It didn't sound like anything I recognized. Not a dog, not anything I'd normally hear out there. I stayed still. I told myself it was something passing by, that it would keep moving, that it wasn't interested. A few seconds passed. Then the fabric beside my shoulder moved. Not a shake, not wind. It pushed inward, slowly. I froze. The pressure came from the outside, pressing the thin material down just enough that I could see the shape forming against it. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't like fingers. It was broader, uneven. I swallowed. Okay, just keep going, I whispered, barely moving my lips. The pressure didn't go away. It slid, slowly, dragging across the side of the tent. The fabric stretched inward, following whatever was moving along it. I could hear it now, too, right against the material. It stopped right near my upper arm. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. Then it pressed again, harder this time. The tent wall dipped inward, closer to my body, close enough that if I shifted even a little, it would touch me. No, I whispered. The shape changed. It wasn't just one point of pressure anymore. It spread, like something lowering itself, leaning onto the tent. And then it moved higher, toward my head, slow, controlled. It knew exactly where I was. I tried to slide my hand toward the zipper, but the moment I moved, the entire side of the tent slammed inward. I jerked back, hitting the opposite side.
Hey!
The pressure stayed, holding, not hitting again, just staying pressed there, like it didn't want me moving. I could hear it breathing right through the fabric now. Heavy, wet, close enough that the material shifted with each breath. I scrambled backward, pushing against the rear wall of the tent, trying to put as much distance as I could between my face and that side. My hand finally found the zipper. It was shaking so bad I couldn't get a grip on it. Come on, come on. The pressure shifted again, this time directly over where my head had just been. The fabric dipped low, lower than before, like it was pushing down with weight. I yanked the zipper. It snagged. No. I pulled harder. The zipper tore open just enough. I shoved my arm through, trying to force it wider. The tent behind me collapsed inward. Something pressed down on the top, hard. I felt the roof slam onto my back, pinning me forward. It was above me now, not just on the side, on top. I could feel the weight shifting, tracking me. I forced myself through the opening, ripping the zipper wider with my shoulder, tearing the seam as I pushed out into the cold air. I didn't even stand up fully. I crawled, then stumbled, trying to get away from the tent. Behind me, the entire thing dipped again. Something inside it now, moving. The fabric bulged outward, then inward, like it was forcing itself through the space I had just left. I turned around for half a second. I shouldn't have. The shape inside the tent wasn't right. Too large, too low to the ground, but too wide. The fabric stretched around it, outlining something that didn't match anything I'd ever seen. It stopped moving. Then the front of the tent pushed outward slowly, like something inside was turning toward me. I ran. I didn't grab anything, not my bag, not my shoes. I just ran straight into the dark, branches hitting my arms, ground uneven under my feet. Behind me, I could hear it. Not fast, not chasing, just moving. Staying close enough that I knew it was still there. I didn't stop until I reached the edge of the site, where the dirt path meets the road. I stayed there until morning. Didn't sit, didn't look back. When the sun came up, I went back. The tent was still there, collapsed. The zipper was torn open like I left it, but the fabric, it was stretched, pulled out in places, like something had pushed against it from the inside for a long time. There were marks on it, not claws, not scratches, just pressure, all over. Like something had leaned on every part of it, trying to figure out where I was. I left everything there. I didn't pack it up. I didn't touch it. I just walked back to my car and drove. I keep thinking about how it moved. Not random. Not searching. It knew exactly where I was inside that tent. Exactly where my head was. And when I moved, it followed. If you're listening to this, and you've ever slept inside a tent, thinking that thin layer between you and the outside was enough, just remember, something out there doesn't need to see you to know exactly where you are. If you have a horror story of your own, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. You never know, the next story could be yours. Subscribe to The Vault so you don't miss what comes next.